Let me tell you, getting to the point where I'm at along this journey has been a lot of learning lessons along the way. I knew from a young age that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and find out a way that I could create generational wealth for myself and my family. I've been trying to make money by myself since the age of 12, doing all manual labor jobs, but by the age of 19, I started figuring out ways to be able to make money online. After years of failure and picking myself up, trying again and again, by the age of 25, I have multiple e-commerce brands that are generating me over 7 figures every single year. So in this video, I want to be able to talk about my journey of how I started my first business at 12 years old, all of the other business ventures I've had since then, and of course, how I got into the position that I'm in today. And if you guys are feeling motivated from this video, make sure to smash that like button below and comment the word motivation and one goal that you have to be able to crush it with e-commerce this year. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is AC Hampton, and I'm an 8-figure marketer where I teach people how to test, build, and scale up profitable e-commerce businesses. And if you're interested in starting your own successful e-commerce brand, then this is the channel for you. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel as I'm dropping new videos every single week. And in this video, you'll also get dibs of being able to be the first people to win an absolute free consulting call with myself and the Supreme Ecom team to streamline your success with e-commerce and make sure that we can answer all of your questions indefinitely. And like I said, there's only 15 spots left and you guys are getting the first dibs to this. So to enter into this giveaway, just go to my Instagram at AC_Hampton and DM me the word giveaway. All right, so let's start from the beginning. So I originally grew up in Kansas City, Missouri with my father and my mother present in my life, but they did get divorced whenever I was 4 years old. And growing up with this type of situation, every single day my parents worked hard to be able to give myself and my sister a better life than they had for themselves. My mom worked extremely hard in her position, and she did have a traveling position, which means that she was gone for around 2 to 3 weeks out of every single month. And I definitely know it was probably difficult with her being away for multiple weeks out of a month and being away for those growing stages of our lives. But with her sacrificing all of this and teaching me how hard it is to be able to work for what you want, it really did teach me a lot about work ethic. And not just learning work ethic, but knowing that I wanted to be able to do something in this world that was not going to take me away from my family, and I could be able to do the things that I want to be able to do in this world. I had to be able to figure something out. I had to be able to take care of my family, and I knew that there was something bigger in life. Being that I wasn't able to do much growing up without my parents always there, I ultimately only fell in love with 2 things: falling in love with working and falling in love with playing sports. I love making my own money and I love playing sports, and those 2 things ultimately just made me happy. And like when I tell y'all, when I said the work ethic was installed in me, I really mean that. By the age of 12 years old, I started my first lawn company. This lawn company was Hampton Lawn Services, and I thought this was going to be the big deal when I was literally 12 years old. And I mean, I was serious about this. I was going all around the neighborhood, printing flyers out, stapling them on light poles, knocking door to door. I mean, I was trying everything. Well, long story short, I was cutting all my yards for $10, and I didn't really have much transportation because I was only 12 years old, so this business didn't last long. I ended up taking a couple years off as I wasn't the legal age to work anywhere in the United States, but this ultimately gave me an idea of what I needed to be able to do next. So the first thing I did whenever I turned 14 years old is I went to McDonald's and I applied for a job. I literally told them that I was 15 years old, lied on my resume, sorry McDonald's, but I literally had to figure out a way to be able to make money, so I started working there when I was 14. And I was so nervous whenever I got this job, but I ended up getting it, so I was super proud of myself for that. And I must say, even though I enjoyed working and making money and even just eating all the free food at McDonald's, it just didn't last long, as it only lasted for around 2 years. So after quitting the fast food business and making pennies, but I swear to God, I thought I was rich, I had friends that were working a busing job, making all this cash, and I knew that's what I wanted to do next. So what I do, I heard the word cash and I went and got a busing job. And the money was nice. I had cash on hand all the time. I could go and be able to get food with my friends whenever I wanted. I could pay them for gas. I mean, I was living the life. But with a little bit of money in my pocket and being able to hang out with friends basically whenever I wanted to, this is whenever I started having a little bit of trouble in my life. And then at the age of 16, I ended up getting arrested for the first of 3 times. And ultimately, like I said, my mom was out of town 2 to 3 weeks out of every single month, and it was just me and my sister. My dad was there here and there, but there wasn't really rules that were set in place, which then led me to ultimately getting arrested again whenever I was 18 and 20 years old. I thought my life was over at this point. I remember looking myself in the mirror and asking myself, what did my life become? In high school, I got the opportunity of playing sports. I played basketball, I played rugby, and I knew that I wanted to go to college. But ultimately, getting arrested 2 times by the age of 18, I didn't think any college was going to accept me in the first place. But by the grace of God, I ended up getting accepted into the University of Missouri through a program called AVID. I ended up getting accepted into the program of AVID in 8th grade, which is for students who want to be able to go to college, but nobody in their family has ever gone, always being a first generation. So luckily, because of this program, I did get accepted into the University of Missouri, where I graduated with a bachelor's in marketing and a minor in computer science engineering. I'm truly one of those people that believe that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be in that position, because ultimately, without being at Mizzou, I don't know if I would have ever been exposed to dropshipping. In college, I was actually able to meet one of my friends who ended up being one of my roommates and learning how he was able to make money from his phone. As a college student, I didn't understand how he was going out every weekend, how he was buying clothes, how he was buying shoes when I wasn't making any money at all. I didn't fall in love with the idea of dropshipping at this point, but I did fall in love with how to be able to make money on my phone, and that's when I think I became addicted. It was time for me to get into making money for myself as well, and that's the first thing that I did. And I truly believe the next entrepreneur venture is the one that changed my life. I love sneakers. I mean, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I'm always buying sneakers. So I just thought to myself, why not make money from something that I'm so passionate about? I saw people flipping shoes all the time online, so I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to get into. And this is where e-commerce took a huge play into my life, as the first thing I did was get rid of those labor jobs. I opened up an Instagram page and formed an entire store around selling shoes. I ended up starting promoting my brand and getting the sneakers on there, and we were actually making some really good money. So after selling all these hot leases, I was making almost $200 to $400 for every single pair of these sold. When that shit started working, I started getting a real following from it, which meant I was starting to make some really good money at the same time. And I was shocked, and I knew that at that point I was never gonna get a real job again, and e-commerce was taking over my life without me even knowing it. Fast forward a couple months of me being able to do this, at the end of the year, I was able to make over $37,000 just selling sneakers. But I knew that it wasn't going to be sustainable, as I had my up days and I had my down days, and it just wasn't consistent every single day. So while I was doing this, my roommate KJ was still making money online. Not was he just showing me all the money he was making online, but this guy was literally making money in his sleep, and I knew that I needed to be a part of that. So I spent some time, I asked him some questions, and I was like, how do you even get into dropshipping? And he was like, you got to start a store. So I started the store, and after 2 days of trying to build it, I just ended up giving up. So after giving up, some time went by, and I ended up making money here and there, and I ended up actually just graduating from the University of Missouri in 2014. So after graduating and having all those different business ventures in the past, at that point I was like, okay, I guess it's time for me to get a real job. I ended up applying to so many jobs outside of Missouri, and I ended up landing a wine specialist sales position in Dallas, Texas. I was made to believe that this job was going to be the best thing that ever happened in my life, and it was going to be the first opportunity for me to leave Missouri. I started working this job, and by week 1, I literally knew I hated it. I thought it was going to be having like sales pitches and selling high-end wine, and the whole time it was literally all manual labor. These people literally had me in grocery stores like Walmart and Target just building up them wine displays. I'm telling you right now, if you've been in any type of Walmart or anything during the holiday season, you've probably seen the displays that I was building. I ended up starting that job July 2nd of 2018, and I ended up quitting it on November 24th. So I really only lasted like 5 months, but I technically got fired / suspended, but we'll just go with suspended. So I ended up getting fired on a Tuesday, and from Wednesday to Friday, I applied to 10 different jobs, and I ended up getting 3 different job offers. So by getting these job offers on Friday, I was told that I had to make a decision on exactly the one that I was going to take by Monday. And I'm telling you right now, through the grace of God, this was the biggest turning point of my entire life. I was stuck in a weird position being out here in Dallas with no money coming in because I just got fired, and no friends or family to be able to have a support system from. My mom was in my ear calling me literally every day, telling me what jobs I needed to apply to, where I needed to be able to have an interview at, and I was just feeling stuck. I really just felt stuck because I knew the traditional ways of what people wanted from me, but my mind wanted something different. So what did I do? On Monday morning, I denied all 3 jobs and completely invested in myself. I had to figure something out, so the first thing I did was go to Google and type in how to make money online. And the craziest thing, which maybe I should thank Mark Zuckerberg, but the first advertisement that showed up on my newsfeed was a dropshipping advertisement. I had that feeling, like that gut feeling that I knew that this is what I needed to do. I ended up actually buying my first course that day, and it was probably the most discouraging thing that I ever bought. After paying thousands of dollars, I got thrown into just a Facebook group and I actually had no support at all. I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. I had no real direction, and ultimately I did feel hopeless at this point. But ultimately, I had to stop feeling bad for myself because nobody in this world is going to want to see you succeed as bad as you do. I made the decision that this is the path that I was going to go in, so I had to figure out every way to make it happen. I ended up staying up every single night, every single day, researching and learning everything that I possibly could about dropshipping. And I mean, I was on the edge of being psycho. I was writing down all my goals, stapling them into the wall in my apartment complex, putting all of these papers in my car so I saw them at any point. I mean, I was feeding my brain with what it needed to have to be successful. And by the time that I felt like I was good enough to start testing, I was down to only $1,500 to my name. The first 2 products that I ended up testing did not do well for me at all, and I didn't know what direction to go from there. But I knew I didn't come this far to give up on myself. I didn't give up on those long nights or those early mornings or crying myself to sleep hoping that this was going to work. I knew that I was willing to sacrifice it all for this. And I knew that the next product that I was going to test, I had no other option but to succeed. And if it didn't go well, I was down to nothing. And luckily for me, this is whenever I came up with my exact product validation methods that I use today. So the next product that I ended up using, I validated it to a T, and I ended up going full send into it. It started off slow, but I actually ended up getting sales my first day. Then it started picking up traction. I ended up getting to $1,000 revenue, and then even a week later past that, I started getting to $1,000 profit days. I honestly could not believe that this was happening, and this is just one of many stores that I've been able to accomplish 7 figures with. This first branded product ended up making $1.9 million in less than 6 months, and you guys can check that out right here. $1.9 million. I mean, this gave me chills, and it's probably giving you guys chills right now. Continuing to be able to bet on myself and investing in myself has put me in the position that I'm in today and allowing me to have the success that I've had. By investing in myself and betting on myself, I've been able to do more than I could have ever imagined. So being able to live the life that I've always wanted to, traveling to different countries, making money from just my laptop, create a successful company where we help people be their own boss and create successful, profitable businesses, buy my first house, buy my dream car. I mean, the list continues and continues. But one of my first goals that I made sure that I accomplished was making sure that I could pay my mom's mortgage, and that is something that I always wanted to do with creating this generational wealth. When I thought that I had nothing left to give, that's when I gave every single thing that I had. I hope that my story has been able to be insightful and motivational for you guys, because you never know what you can be able to accomplish if you never put your foot on the gas and start fully investing in yourself. Keep working, keep learning, and of course, always keep hustling. And if you guys are wanting the chance to be able to learn from myself and learn from my team, make sure to go to my Instagram at AC_Hampton and DM me the word giveaway to give yourself the opportunity of winning an absolute free consulting call to streamline your success with e-commerce. Remember, there's only 15 spots available, so make sure to go ahead and DM me, and I cannot wait to be able to hear from you guys. Make sure to go ahead and smash that like button below and subscribe to my channel if you love this video, and make sure to tune in to my YouTube this Friday at 10 a.m. and I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being a part of my Supreme family. This is AC, and I'm out.